Hey everybody, welcome to Team Flourish, and my name is Melissa. Hello. So today's training is going to be on utilizing Square for your Color Street business. So if you haven't heard of Square before, it is a online payment platform to be able to accept credit cards from customers for a few different reasons. One of them, and I wrote my notes down so I would have it with you guys, one of them would be to accept credit cards for on-hand inventory. So that could be anything from in-home parties, vendor events, or just, a friend stopping by and wanting to buy some and they don't have cash on them. So that's your on-hand inventory. Inventory that you've purchased previously from your own website, had shipped to yourself, and now you resell it. So that's one thing. Hello. The second reason that you would use Square is to be able to do pre-sales. So we have a lot of different launches that happen with Color Street. Our next one that should be coming up is Valentine's Day. And so with Valentine's Day, and I'm trying to get my screen to be so I understand it. With Valentine's Day coming up, we have the option of doing pre-sales, and that's totally up to the stylist of doing a pre-sale. And that could be, hey, these 8 shades are coming out. Let me know which ones you want. As soon as they go live, I will order them and get them shipped to you. So when you do a pre-sale, what you would do is you would send them an invoice through Square, put all the items that are available from the new launch, put them all in there, send them an invoice for all those items, and then they pay it. And then once the launch happens, you would order those items, put in their address information, and put in your credit card because they've already paid you previously. So that's the second reason that you would use Square or an online payment platform, whether it be PayPal or Venmo, any of those. We're focusing on Square today, but just keep in mind when I say Square, usually I'm talking about all those things. And then lastly, the last reason that I use Square for is for customer convenience. So a lot of times customers just don't have the time to jump on your website to look for what they want. Sometimes they see your post on Instagram or on Facebook and they're like, ooh, I want that. Instead of them having to go on your website and do the buy 3, get 1 free, it's so much easier for them to just say, I want this, this, and this. And that's what's so amazing about direct sales is they want to shop with you because of you. And so by giving them that convenience of saying, sure, I will get that taken care of for you, they don't have to worry about remembering to go online and order it before it goes out of stock. They can just tell you what they want. You'll send them an invoice through Square, and then you go online, you order it for them, put in your credit card, and send it. Now, I think that somebody might be talking and I'm talking over you, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to see if there's a volume option so I can hear what your questions are. Hold on. Or I'm going to mute it if that's not the case. And then that way we don't have volume happening in the background. Okay. I muted myself. If you guys have a question, I will have you guys use the unmute option, but I am going to mute, since everybody's jumping on now, I am going to mute everybody and then just use the chat option to ask your questions, okay? I see some of you have muted yourselves, but in case you're not muted, I'm going to mute all of you, and you guys can unmute yourself if you have a question, or you can use the chat function to ask your question. Okay, because we're recording this as well, so we want to make sure that the people who are watching the recording aren't getting a lot of background noise. Okay, I'm just going to make sure. Okay, so there's no questions yet. I want to make sure I'm not missing questions. Okay, so those are the reasons that you would utilize Square. Okay, I know that one of my girls actually ended up using Square because the system was having some problems. She couldn't get an order in, and so she made it, again, customer convenience, where she said, that's okay, don't worry about the website, I'll send you an invoice, and as soon as the website's working again, I will get your order placed. So that's a really great reason why you want to have that available to you. Now, Square, just like PayPal, just like Venmo, is going to have a mobile app, and it is free to download. It is free to have an account with Square. And so you'll download it, and what I always suggest is you download it from your sponsor, so your upline. And the reason why is because you always want to make sure that you're using a referral code, not only so that you get $1,000 in free processing, but so your upline who gave you the referral code also gets $1,000 in free processing. So what I want to make sure you guys understand is Square is free to have an account, but every time you pass a transaction through there, there is a fee and it comes out of the total. So say, for example, that your invoice was $40. The fee is 2.75%. So you're only going to receive $39 of that $40. Now that math is not correct and I don't know what the correct math is, but you're going to receive 2.75% less than the $40, okay? Unless you have the $1,000 in free processing, which means if you did a $40 invoice here, $80 invoice there, $120 invoice there, up to $1,000, that will not get any processing fees, or 180 days, whichever one gets reached first, that's how it will go. So you can have unlimited referral codes in the sense that like maybe you have $3,000 in free processing and you really want to get that free processing, especially if you do a lot of vendor events and in-home parties. You want to, get the least amount of fees possible so you get the most amount of money. So, like I said, Square has a 2.75% fee for every transaction, whether it be swipe or online. Otherwise, it's a 3.5% fee for anything that's manually keyed in. So if the customer doesn't have their card and you have to type in their card number, or their swipe isn't working and you have to type their card number in, that is 3.5% plus a 15-cent fee. So usually you want to not try to do any of those, and you want to try to swipe it or have them pay online so that it's only 2.75%. I try to get as much of what I can with free processing, but I will tell you right now that 2.75% that I get charged is worth it for me, in the sense that I would rather get the sale right now than tell them, oh, go on my website to order. That's my own personal preference. But if you guys prefer for them to go on your website and that they have to do that, that's fine. Okay? So that is the reasons why we use Square. Now, that was the percentages. You get $1,000 in free processing. Now, one of the biggest things that differentiates Square from all other platforms, PayPal, Venmo, Facebook Messenger, all those, is Square has the option to do offline payments. And I utilize that a lot. I live in Hawaii, and I live kind of where the boonies are, in the sense that we don't always get internet service, but no matter what, I can take payments. And so what that means is, if it's offline, if you have no internet, if you don't have Wi-Fi, if your service isn't working, you can still swipe a credit card. You can't manually key in a credit card, but you can still swipe a credit card. And what it will do is it will store the credit card information. It's all masked and you can't access it. It's all PCI compliant, of course. When you get service, then it will charge the card. So this happens to me a lot of times at events where there's no Wi-Fi and my service isn't working. I can still have them swipe their card. It will still have them sign. And then as soon as I get internet service, then it will charge all their cards. So that is probably one of the biggest reasons that I like to utilize Square, is so that I have that offline capability. And it's not that I do that for every single transaction, but when I need it, it's there for me. And you don't have to choose to go into offline. It automatically does it. You just go into your Square app, ring up the items, and then swipe the card, and it will tell you processed offline, will charge once your system comes back online. It says something like that. So that is that. Okay, next thing is you have the option to do, and I'm going to show you guys stuff on the screen, but this is kind of just an overview first. You have the option to do either what's called checkout method, which on your phone, or on your iPad or whatever you utilize, you have all your items, which we're going to talk about how I got my items in here, and you just get to pick which items you're selling, and you see it says it there. And then when you swipe their card, it charges them. That's when you're in front of them. Otherwise, you can do online invoices, where you can do it directly from your phone, where you can do an invoice, or you can do it on a PC. Now, I'm not going to go through a training on how to utilize Square. There's videos for that, and if you guys have a specific question, you can ask me. But this training is specifically about why you would utilize Square for your business versus how to use Square. So hopefully you guys weren't here for learning how to use Square. So you have those two methods that you can use for ringing up customers. Now, I have sometimes my regular customers who come and see me in person, like at an event or something, and they'll be like, oh, shoot, I don't have my credit card. If I trust them, I'll be like, that's okay, I'll send you an invoice, even though they're in front of me, and I'll let them pay when they get home, and then I let them take their stuff, but that's my own personal preference. If they're in front of you, you should be taking their credit card at that time. Now, you have the option of putting cash sales also through Square, but that is your own decision. Now, that's probably going to be taken into account about how you do taxes with your state. Every state is different, and you're going to talk to your own accountant on how you should handle that. I personally am not putting cash sales through my Square at this time. I write those down separately, but that is your guys' own decision. I only use it for credit card payments, okay? Okay, so now let's get into the inventory file. So what's really great about Square is that you can have an inventory file to be uploaded into it. And I do my best to keep that file updated every time we have a new launch, but I have been slacking a lot lately, and I do apologize to everybody. And the reason why is because the file we were using, one, I lost access to it somehow. Two, we were doing 3 different price methods. I actually have changed that because of what I've been learning with how I utilize Square, and that's what I want to show you guys today. So I'm going to switch it so you guys can see my screen. Okay. Share my screen. Okay, so you guys should see my screen. Okay, so you guys all know that we have access to this link tree, okay? This link tree is available through Team We Nailed It, which is Team Flourish, or through Team Pineapples if you're on my team. Team Pineapples, we have a separate link tree. But both of the link trees have access to the same Square file right here, Square Item Upload Spreadsheet. Okay, so when you sign up for Square for the very first time, you're using usually a link or a referral code from your upline. You're going to download Square, you're going to sign up with your own email address, all that good stuff, and then you need to get your items in. So that's what this is. These are the items. I'm so sorry, my child is like screaming. Hold on. I think he just fell down and hit his head, but his dad is with him. Okay. So you're going to enter all the items are in the spreadsheet, and you're going to upload this into Square. So again, I'm not teaching you how to how to use Square. So there's a separate document on how to upload a file. But what I'm showing you is this file has changed. So if you've seen this file previously, we used to have 3 separate prices. So take, for example, this first one, Abracadabra. It would say Abracadabra 3 times. It would have regular price 13. It would have Hostess reward $7.50, and then it would have Hostess credit $0. So it had 3 separate lines. And what I found is that I wasn't tracking when I was giving, or how much discounts I was giving when I was utilizing that 3 price method, because I would keep picking the $0 one, and I wouldn't see I was ever giving a discount. So I actually changed the way that I was utilizing my Square, and I would only have 1 price level for every item, which is what I've changed this spreadsheet to be now. And what happens is when you're in your, let's say invoices, okay, so I'm creating an invoice right now to send to somebody. So I would pick my customer, oops, these are invoices that have been paid, sorry. So you would create an invoice, you would pick a customer, and then you would pick all your items, okay? So let's go ahead, I'm gonna pick myself as a customer. And right here you have your items. So I'm gonna pick my items, and you're going to see it doesn't ask me what price, it just charges the regular price. So I'm going to sell 4 items because we do the buy 3, get 1 free. And there's my 4 items. Now what I do instead is I actually have discount set up. Okay, so instead of making one item a 0 price item, instead I add a discount, and I have all these discount codes already set up for myself. I set these up in a separate area in Square. It's not on the spreadsheet. And I pick, I'm giving a glitter free. Okay, hold on, I'm going to see if somebody can't hear me. Okay. Debbie's saying she can't see anything on the screen. Is everybody not able to see everything on the screen? Is it a black screen for everybody?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I have 2 people saying they can't see the screen. So let's see, because of course I can see my screen. That doesn't help anybody else. Okay. I love when technology does this to us, guys. Okay, so I can see me. Okay. I'm coming back to it and seeing if you can see it now. Can you see it now? Or do you see me? I have somebody texting me a picture of what the screen looks like. If you guys want to unmute yourself to tell me whether you can see it. Okay.
It's still refreshing.
That is so odd that nobody can see my screen. It's saying I can stop sharing, so I'll stop sharing. And then I'm going to reshare it. Okay. Okay, so let's try that again. Share my screen. Okay, did it go black for everybody?
It's there now. New invoice.
Okay, I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay, so I started a new invoice a while ago, so I'm so sorry of all the steps that I've missed now with everybody. So what I was trying to say is I only have one price level for every item, but I create a discount instead of making something 0 price, because that's how it was previously on the spreadsheet, and I wasn't able to track that I was giving discounts, and I want to see how many free ones I'm giving. That's important for me in my business to see that. So what I do instead is I do a discount, and I track my discounts separately. So I have French, design, glitter, solids, and then I have like just a blanket amount, and then I did a special one, so I have a 10% one. So I pick glitter and I hit add, and then you see it takes off that $12. And to me, that also helps the customer to see that they're getting something free, versus if I just change it to $0, they're not seeing that they saved $12. Okay. Okay, so everybody should be able to see the screen now, I think. Okay, I'm getting a couple different messages. So this is how I prefer to do it, and I'm going to show you now my report of why I prefer to do it this way. If you're learning Square right now, the last step is to hit send at the top right. You can, of course, write a message here. You can, of course, add shipping. My tax is auto-calculated into it. You can see the 158 here. And if I'm selling from my on-hand inventory, I charge my tax because I had to pay my tax when I got it. So I'm literally reimbursing myself for tax. But again, you need to check with your own state on that, because Hawaii's tax is a little bit different, in which case we have to pay that tax back to Hawaii. So I don't get to keep the tax that I charge. I just pay it. Okay. Okay, Patricia, I see your volume says it's low now. I think you can control your volume on your side. I won't be able to control the volume on my side. Okay, so I'm gonna come into my report to show you. So I'm not gonna send this invoice. This is just to myself. Okay, so save as draft, I guess. Okay, so what I wanna show you guys is the report. Okay, so sales reports. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna do it just for last week. I think I had some events last week. Okay, so right here, this is why I do it this way. So you can see my gross sales were $1,524, but I gave away $350 in free ones because it's buy 3 get 1 free. And so it's showing me that I gave $350 free. And so here's my net sales, and then of course here's my tax, and here's the total amount that I collected. Now, if I had any fees, which are my processing fees, that's the $35.02 that I didn't get to keep. So this is how much I got in my bank account, was $11.87. Okay, so that is the key part that I wanted to show you guys. If that's something that's important to you, you may want to change the way you're doing your Square, in the sense that you only charge one price. And I think I'm going to need to remute everybody. How do I do that? Mute all. There we go. Okay, cool. So if you're going to do that, you will need to go back into your Square and delete, and I had to manually delete it. I didn't find an easy way. I probably could have like re-uploaded my stuff, but I didn't do that. So in my items, I went into each and every item and I deleted the other price levels. So now each item only has one price level. You see right here, but you can have additional ones. So I deleted each price level. And another reason why this is a great feature is if you guys are going to track your inventory quantities. So I don't track my inventory quantities only because I go through inventory too quickly, in the sense that I receive like 50 sets at a time and then I sell 50 sets at a time. It's too fast for me, although I really would prefer to track inventory. And if you're going to track inventory, you can only have one price level, because if you have multiple price levels, your quantities are tracked per price level. And so if you have 5 Abracadabra on hand and you sold one at 13, but you sold one free, it's going to track the quantities separately. So that's why you only want to have one price level. And so you can put in how much you have, the current stock. You can say that you received 5, and that way every time you sell it, you'll see what your current quantity on hand is. So that's another reason why you would only have one price level, is so you can track your quantity. And if you're starting off fresh, you can import your starting quantities. So right here, column H is current quantity. And you can import that quantity that you're starting off with. But every time you purchase more to have on hand, then you have to receive that quantity back into inventory again, which I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't know where that step is, because I don't do it. And I'm sorry, I don't know where that step is. But you'd have to receive your quantity on hand. If you guys Google it, there'll be a YouTube video on how to do that. So those are the 2 main reasons I wanted to show you guys. Now I am going to show you guys, if you want to set up discounts, that's here, and this is where I have discount set up. So you just hit create discount, call it what you want, if it's going to be a percentage or if it's going to be an amount, you get to decide that here. And you can set up as many discounts as you want. I will tell you right now, if you do discounts like how I have them set here, if, say for example, somebody buys 8 and 2 solids are going to be free, you can only pick the discount once. So you can't pick solid 2 times. So instead, I have to click this button here, and then I type in $22 as my discount. So just FYI, I haven't figured out a better way for that yet, but you can't give the same discount twice. Instead, you have to type in an amount. Next is taxes. So I have 2 tax amounts, because if I order from the website, it's 4%, but my current tax here in Hawaii is 4.167. You guys probably won't have that. You should just have 1 tax amount, and that's the tax amount you charge. Now, I'm not going to get into taxes because that's all about laws. I'm going to let you guys decide that on your own. This is just the way that I do mine. Okay. Categories, you guys can set up your own categories. I have them set inside of the spreadsheet a certain way, but if you want it to be different, you want to make that decision ahead of time. So if you want all your glitter designs and nail art designs to be one category, you need to change it in the spreadsheet before you upload it. Otherwise, you're going to be manually changing each item to have that. So just keep that in mind. Okay. I don't use modifiers myself. That's usually more for a restaurant, like add cheese, no tomatoes. That's usually what modifiers are for. And then I don't use Square for gift cards yet. I haven't even looked into that, of whether or not I would use it. Okay. So those were the most key things that I wanted to tell you guys, is the spreadsheet part of it and why I utilize Square. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. If anybody has questions utilizing Square or any other payment platform that you have a question on. You can either unmute yourself or you can use the chat window, whatever you prefer. And then, of course, I will have this recording available in Team Flourish, and then you guys can rewatch it. I mean, you can tag your downline to watch it. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here. I was trying to change my sharing option, but it's not working properly. No questions? Oh, also at the end of the year for tax purposes, that's another reason I like the report. So report right here, is I can just show this is what I took in through Square. I have heard some other stylists that do this where they don't actually use a payment platform. They actually use their Color Street website to take credit cards. My events are a little bit too fast paced that I can't do that. But what they do is they have their Color Street website open at a vendor event. When a customer picks 4 items from their, or how many of our items they pick, when they pick the items, they will go onto the Color Street website. They will replace those same 4 items or whatever 4 items that are in like value. And they will type in the customer's credit card right there so that the payment is passing through their Color Street website, and they just get the commission that way. And then they have it shipped to themselves. So they put in the customer's credit card info, but they put their stylist address on it. Now, I questioned the $3 because, of course, every single transaction is going to get that $3 charge on that. The stylist said that she charges the customer $3, like it's notated in her pricing that the $3 is going to be applied. But again, that's kind of your guys' decision. It's too fast paced for me at events to do that. I can't go through my back office website, but that of course would be the ultimate goal, is to just go through your back office website, because so then you're not getting any sort of fees. And then you're not waiting for your money to be deposited, because the money is going straight to your Color Street website to replace your inventory. So I like that option. It's just not a fast enough way for me, and I can't charge a customer $3 in shipping because it's not being shipped to them, if that makes sense. In regards to deposits and stuff, everything is deposited the next day based on when the customer pays it. So if they pay before like, I don't know, noon, you get it deposited the same day. If it's afternoon, you get it deposited in your bank account the next day. You can choose an option, like if you guys saw it in my Square, there's an option to say deposit now, but you see my amount is 11474, but it's going to deposit $1 less, and that's because it charges you a 1% fee if you do the deposit now option. So it's up to you on that. Like I'll usually do that on the weekends when I have a vendor event and I have a huge amount, and I'll do the deposit now so I can have my money for the weekend. But otherwise, I just let it go until it's going to auto deposit on its own. The Square, I don't know if you can see my video right now, but the Square thing that you plug into your phone or your iPad is free. So I really like that it's free, because I think now PayPal, you have to buy it. I think it's like $15. So make sure as soon as you sign up for Square, order the MagStripe reader, since that's free. You also can order the Bluetooth one, and I think that's $49, or you can use one of your free rewards from using a referral link, and you pay like, I think $29 or something. That way you can take chip cards. Okay. Trying to think what else I can tell you about Square. I think that was it for the most part. I don't think anybody has questions. Either I just covered that like super well, or there was other questions. I can't think of anything else. If customers say they can't find the invoice, you have the option to send them just a link via text message or PM, and I really like that option. So like you can click on the invoice, and then right here you would hit more, and you can hit share, and you just copy this link and you send it to them via text message, and they just click that link and it takes them to their invoice, versus you being like, oh, well, I'll email it to you again, because if you email it again, it might keep going to their junk mail. So again, I'm all about convenience, because that's why customers want to shop with me, is because I have customer service. And so I like to make it as easy as possible. So I'll just send them the link if they say they didn't get the invoice. Or even, I won't even worry about whether or not they get the invoice. If they haven't paid it in one day, I'll go ahead, I'll grab the link, and I'll say, oh, here's the link directly to your invoice. Go ahead and click it to pay here. I won't even ask them if they got the emailed version. I just try to make it convenient. Usually they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to pay it, or whatever. But again, you're making it convenient for them. And usually if you send it via text, people get it right away. I think there's some type of percentage for text messages. Like it has like a 93% open rate versus email is like a 30% open rate. So I just made those statistics up. But it's always better to text message when you can. So that's a really nice feature that you can do that. Okay. I can't think of anything else, guys. And I'm a little worried because nobody has questions. So hopefully okay. So again, I'm going to try to update this as we get new collections now that I have access to it again. I haven't been putting descriptions in because that was taking too long for me. So feel free to put your descriptions in before you upload it if you want. I do have a shipping fee in there for $3. I charge shipping $3 no matter how many sets because that's how much the website is. So I do the same thing as the website. Shipping is taxed on the website, so it's taxed in here. But yeah, if you want to add new ones into your own because you don't want to upload a new spreadsheet like every time there's a new launch, you can just go straight into items and you can add new items. That's super easy. You can do it from your phone or you can do it from a PC. And yeah, there's a create item button right here. Okay. Where is the inventory list? Okay, so the inventory list, you can access it two ways. You can either access it from the Linktree for Team We Nailed It, or Lena, since you're on my team, you can access it in Team Pineapples. Because we have a different Linktree since we've grown so much. Oops. Oh, I don't know what I just did there. I think I like bought the paid version of Zoom or something. So it's in Team Pineapples as well. And it's called Square Item Upload Spreadsheet. So just click on that and that will take you to the spreadsheet. You need to save it, of course. So File, Save, Download, right there, Download. And then when you're inside of Square, you can import. So Actions, Import. And it will let you import a spreadsheet, okay? I was putting mine in manually. Oh, yeah, you gotta, everything you guys need, I wanna say 99% of what you guys need should be in your guys' link trees. So either Team We Nailed It or Team Pineapples if you're on my team, every single thing should be in there. The steps on how to upload the spreadsheet are in a different place, but I'm gonna work on adding it as a second tab. So anybody who's listening to this, I'm gonna put it on the second tab and it's gonna be called like instructions to upload. And I will try to add those screenshots that I did in Facebook so you guys can see it there. I think that would be helpful. Okay. Anything else you guys can think of before I let you go? That was pretty much the main things I wanted to chat with you guys about. So remember, when you guys sign up new stylists, make sure you're giving them your referral code so that you both can get $1,000 in free processing. Are the item in Square? When you start a new account, there's no items. This is blank. So if you're starting from scratch, you would go to Actions, Import, and you would import your spreadsheet. Okay. If you already put items in there, then it's because you either uploaded them or you manually put them in already. Okay. So all the items have the price, it has the SKU, it has an item, and then it has a category. Not all of them have a description. Okay. So you do need to upload this spreadsheet into your Square to be able to see them. And you can't do it from your phone, but I have heard you can do it from your iPad. Otherwise, I do mine from a PC. Okay. Now, I have had a couple of girls who don't have access to a computer or an iPad. And so what I did is I signed into their Square account on my PC and I uploaded it for them. Lena, I do think it would be too late. You probably could sign up for a new Square account, which I always debate doing in the sense that I'm like, I need free processing. I'm just going to sign up for a new one. But if you're using an email address that you specifically want to have, and that's already where it is, then yeah, you wouldn't have anything, but you can have somebody else sign up under you, even somebody who's not going to use it, because I don't think you have to have a sale with it. Have your mom just sign up for Square. I mean, again, it's free. You don't get charged for it or anything like that. And have her use your code, and that way you can get the $1,000 free. I want you guys to get the $1,000 free. I mean, myself, I want it, but it's not as urgent as I wanting you guys to have it. So yeah, you could just, I think you can just sign up for another one with another email address and you should be able to get the free one. And if you guys are looking for where your free ones are, it will be here when you hit, is it software overview? Or it's something like get free processing. There it is. So get free processing, when you click on that, it will show you have one free reward, and it will let you pick, do you want $1,000 free processing or do you want $20 off the EMV reader? So like usually I always pick this one. And then it will also keep track of like how much left you have in the free processing. Like you have $500 left in free processing and like the date of it. So that's really nice. And you can redeem multiple ones. Like I try to have a lot, especially when I have vendor events happening. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? I don't think I can take off my share anymore. Okay. I don't think I have anything else for you guys. If you guys want to download Square and you haven't yet, I did put my code in the event, but if you have an upline who uses Square, I would ask them for their code so that they'll get the $1,000 of free processing too, because we want to, help our people out. Okay, thanks for letting me know, Debbie, because that makes me feel like at least you guys can hear me. So I do hope the training was helpful for you guys. I will go ahead and save it, and I will upload it into the event so that way you can find it for your downline, and hopefully that answers some of their questions. Again, YouTube, anything that if you're trying to figure out how to do something, YouTube and Google are going to be your best friend. Okay, have a wonderful day, you guys. I really appreciate you guys popping on. It's my lunch break for my day job, so I'm going to go ahead and go eat. Bye, everybody.